Listen carefully. Most relationships don't end in screaming fights. They end in grocery stores, under fluorescent lights, next to the dairy aisle, between a carton of eggs and a pound of hamburger meat. It sounds ridiculous, but men who've lived it know exactly what I'm talking about. Because a 20-minute trip to buy groceries can reveal more about a relationship than 20 months of dates, vacations, and late-night conversations. Out there in the real world, there's nowhere to hide, no curated photos, no romantic mood lighting, no carefully crafted text messages, just two people trying to handle life together. And that's where the truth appears, because the grocery store doesn't test love. It tests something far more important, teamwork. And if you pay attention, you'll see the exact moment a partner stops being your teammate and quietly becomes your burden. Today, we're going to talk about the grocery store test, the small moments that expose the cracks, the silent tally that builds resentment, and the exact moment many men realize something terrifying. They're not in a relationship anymore. They're carrying one. Here's something most men miss. Relationships rarely collapse because of one big betrayal. They collapse because of hundreds of tiny signals that no one pays attention to. Signals that happen in everyday moments. Moments like walking through a grocery store together. You're pushing the cart. You pass by something interesting. You say something simple. Look at this price. That's crazy. That small comment isn't about the price. It's a quiet attempt to connect, a tiny invitation, a moment that says, I'm here with you. In healthy relationships, partners turn toward these moments. They respond, they laugh, they engage. But when a relationship starts dying, something else happens. You say something, and they don't respond. They keep walking. They scroll their phone. They ignore it. One moment like that doesn't mean much, but your brain starts counting. And every ignored moment becomes another mark on the scoreboard, another signal that something is off. Then comes the second signal, the small gestures. You grab something they like, their favorite snack, their favorite drink, not because they asked, just because you thought of them. That's care. But slowly, you notice something. They never do the same for you. They never grab something small that makes your day easier. They never think ahead. And now the tally grows. But the third signal is the one that slowly breaks men. The one that turns relationships into silent wars. It's called something many men recognize immediately, even if they've never heard the name. Weaponized incompetence. You ask them to grab a few items. They come back with the wrong things. Every time. Wrong brand, wrong size, wrong item completely. You explain it again. Next time, they still get it wrong. Eventually something strange happens. You stop asking, because your brain realizes something. This person isn't helping you. They're training you to stop expecting help. And now the relationship has quietly shifted from partnership to management. This is where many men slowly start feeling something they can't explain. Exhaustion. Not physical exhaustion, mental exhaustion. Because suddenly everything depends on you. You plan things, you organize things, you fix problems, you remember what needs to be done. You start feeling less like a partner and more like a parent. But the relationship continues because most men believe something dangerous. If I just try harder, this will get better. So they keep carrying the weight. They keep fixing the mistakes. They keep hoping their partner will suddenly wake up one day and become the teammate they imagine. But the grocery store reveals the truth. Because small environments expose big patterns. How someone treats workers, how they handle inconvenience, how they respond to frustration. The self-checkout machine freezes. The bagging area gives an error. The line is slow. and suddenly you see who they really are. Do they laugh it off? Or do they explode? Do they treat the employee with respect? Or act like the world owes them something? Because character doesn't appear during big moments. It appears during small inconveniences, and the grocery store is full of them. Which leads us to the moment many men never forget. The moment the relationship quietly ends, without anyone saying the words. It usually happens over something stupid, something so small it feels ridiculous. Hamburger meat, 70-30 or 80-20. That's it, a simple choice. But suddenly it becomes an argument. Not because of the meat, because of what the meat represents. Respect. You explain why you prefer one. They dismiss it. They roll their eyes. They argue over something that shouldn't be a battle. And then something strange happens. You stop arguing. Not because you gave up, because you finally understood something. This fight was never about meat. It was about control, about being managed, about realizing that every decision in your life has become a negotiation. And in that quiet moment, something inside you detaches. You grab what you want, or you put the item back. But you stop seeking approval. You stop explaining. You stop trying to make them understand you. Because suddenly it hits you. They never wanted to understand you. They wanted to control the environment around them. And that realization creates something powerful. Silence. Not angry silence. Calm silence. The kind that happens when a man finally stops fighting battles he never needed to fight. This is the moment detachment becomes real. When this shift happens, something changes in the relationship dynamic. You stop reacting. You stop explaining yourself. You stop trying to win arguments. And suddenly, the chaos stops affecting you. Their frustration doesn't shake you. Their moods don't control your day. Because you've quietly taken something back. Your independence, your decisions, your peace. You start doing small things differently. You stop chasing their attention. You stop forcing conversations. You stop trying to fix someone who never asked to change. And strangely, this is when many partners finally notice. Because control only works when someone is reacting. The moment you stop reacting, the game ends. At the end of the grocery trip, something symbolic happens. The cart. Most people leave it in the parking lot. Someone else will deal with it. But a man who has reclaimed his peace does something different. He returns it. Not for his partner, not for recognition, but because it reflects the man he has decided to be. Disciplined, composed, responsible for his own actions, not trapped in someone else's chaos. And in that quiet moment, walking back to the car, something else becomes clear. The weight you've been carrying was never love. It was attachment. And the moment you release that attachment, life becomes lighter. If you want to understand the health of your relationship, don't look at the big romantic moments. Look at the small ones. Do they respond when you speak? Do they show small acts of care? Do they work with you or against you when life gets inconvenient? Because love isn't proven during vacations. It's proven in grocery stores, in traffic, in daily life. And if you start noticing the signs, don't panic. Don't fight harder. Do something much more powerful. Step back. Mirror the energy you receive. Invest your time back into yourself, your purpose, your discipline, your independence. Because the truth most men eventually learn is simple. You can't force someone to be your partner, but you can always choose peace. So now I'll ask you something. Think about the last time you went grocery shopping with your partner. Did it feel like teamwork or tension? Did you feel supported or managed? Sometimes the most ordinary places reveal the most uncomfortable truths. If you've experienced this moment, The moment where something small suddenly made everything clear. Right, I saw the signs in the comments. And if this video helped you see your situation differently, leave a like, subscribe to Void Response. Because here, we talk about the realities most people are too afraid to say out loud. And remember this, the strongest men aren't the ones who control others. They're the ones who control themselves. Until the next video, stay calm, stay sharp, and never lose your peace.